Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. We have a new video to get to here. Maria Georges was on Kaitlyn Bristowe's Off the Vine podcast and had a lot of tea to spill regarding her former friendship with one podcaster, Nick Viall. I'm going to get into everything that was said right now. It was a fantastic conversation. By all means, go check out Off the Vine with Kaitlyn Bristowe. You're gonna want to listen to this full conversation. We may also get a shout out within their topic. So let's dive right in. I'm going to go right to the 41-minute mark. Kaitlyn's so good at getting to the good stuff. As we know, Maria Georges was on Call Her Daddy podcast with Alex Cooper. And on that podcast mentioned a fun conspiracy that maybe Nick pulled the strings in her becoming the villain. Again, she said it completely in jest. Nick doesn't have a sense of humor and didn't realize it was all fun, made it serious, and it's about to get a lot worse. Have a listen.
But we need to clear up some stuff. Please. You mentioned dropping some tea lately about knowing Nick.
Yeah.
Obviously before the show. Okay, how did this all happen? How did you meet him?
Actually, funny. My friends and I, we were, again, fans of the show, and we liked Nick. We thought Nick was great, at the time, whatever. And so through social media, we started talking. And it started we would talk all the time, literally all the time. And we were just building a friendship. And
I did that too with him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know. That's why you came on your season.
But yeah, okay.
No, that was it.
And she pours the wine. What a prop. Kaitlyn goes, I did that too with him. Yeah, that's kind of everyone knows. Everyone builds a friendship with Nick because everyone, he might need you at some point and he keeps his friends. And then when you become fodder for the show, he throws you under the bus. I mean, tale as old as time.
Had you ever met in person?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I
know, yeah. People were wondering if it was whatever. No, of course we have.
Oh, so it was a little fun, a meet. You met him, you talked to him, you hung out with him.
Yeah.
And then what happened from there?
No, I ended up, he had told me when he was going to be Bachelor and I congratulated him and he went to go do that.
Okay.
And then I got a boyfriend at the time and we were just always found our way kind of back to communicating, but it was, again, very always friendly.
Did Nick play any sort of role in your journey to becoming a contestant on The Bachelor?
Absolutely not. No. And absolutely not. He did not.
All right. If there's any question left as to whether or not Nick played a role, absolutely not, she says. So look, you can't, like I said before, you can't blame Maria for wanting to maybe shoot her shot and meet Nick when she was just a fangirl, a fan of the show. But at the same time, the way he handled their maybe knowing each other, so bizarre. Very interesting for Maria to clear up that she actually has met Nick in person. Because Nick made it seem like it was just one of those, we DM'd back and forth.
So then how do you feel with his wife now calling you delusional?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, teach their own.
And if you didn't know, yes, she called her delusional. We've got that for you right here. And by the way, look, I can do this with a baby strapped to my chest right now. This is not hard stuff, getting the source material.
It's just giving delusional, honestly, at the end of
So Natalie says it's giving delusional. So Natalie calls Maria delusional for, again, I guess Natalie doesn't have a sense of humor as well, for the fun conversation Maria had on one of the biggest podcasts ever, Call Her Daddy.
If that's what you think that, okay, so I had said on the podcast, a little conspiracy theory that I had. I was saying it in such a joking manner that
This
I
is
thought.
on Call Her Daddy.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought it came across as me being all I said was, in the moment. Can you imagine now, Kaitlyn, a guy you were talking to who was part of this world telling you, if you go on the show, you might be a villain. And this is why. And you not understanding that, because when you hear villain, you think, well, villain, people hate villains. Yeah. Why would I be a villain?
Right.
I didn't know if a Bachelor villain is different than a villain. Apparently it's different. Anyways. So you hear a guy tell you that, and then after getting off the show, the girl that was villainizing you the entire season for no reason. Now, if you were giving her a reason to villainize you, fine. But if literally for no reason, and then you see them in a picture together after the show, all I said in a laughing manner, joking, haha, hee hee, ho ho. I literally didn't even mention it to anyone. It's not like I went around telling people or I didn't even message Sydney to be like, Sydney, were you friends with this person? No, I just said it on Call Her Dad. I just wanted her to, I was shooting the shit with her and I was like, yo, this is what I thought in the moment.
Yeah.
Seeing that photo, I was like, holy tits. Like, the guy that said this and now the girl that did this are in a picture together. What the hell is that? But I wasn't being serious.
Right.
So
there it is,
Nick
folks. She wasn't being serious, and there's nothing kind of cringier than when somebody takes someone serious when they were just joking around. So here it is. Judgment is ruled. Honorable Dave Neal says, much ado about nothing.
Decided to run with that and think that it was a serious thing that I actually felt and thought that he had this pull. First of all, no one's going to make me a villain.
Right.
The only person that's going to make me a villain is me, and I'm not. And that's why I wasn't.
Yeah.
But it was just something that
I like when Maria reaches into the microphone when she wants to enunciate her point. Which it wasn't. Not.
that kind of crossed my mind. Maybe maybe in ways I thought maybe you might have sent the girl to come after me. I don't know. But it was a joke.
I'm just so curious.
It was a joke.
If you and him, did something go south where he...
Kaitlyn's so good. She's like, you guys must have banged, right? Kaitlyn's going, come on. Something must have happened for him to be this scornful towards you.
Did you guys lose respect for each other along the way? Like, if it was all fine, why does he seem to want to talk shit about you?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. I sat on the Call Her Daddy sofa and I said I congratulated him, that there's no animosity between us, that I'm happy to see him grow. I said all the nicest things because, we haven't spoken in a while, but I just thought that out of mutual respect, because we didn't end badly, that, we kind of just went our separate ways and we respected each other at that point. I thought him seeing me on the show, he would be like, oh my God, my girl Maria, good for her, go off. But then when he kind of was breezing right past me on the, doing his recaps and okay, it's fine. He didn't say anything bad about me until...
He didn't say anything about you until...
Yeah, that's true. But also he did, and people were coming to me being like, how are you going to let him say this shit about you? When I opened up about a car accident that I got with my mom when I was 1 year old, where I was actually announced dead at the scene. And, oh yeah, it's traumatic as and Nick was like, what was Maria's story even? What?
I actually remember this because I was like, yikes. I mean, she opened up and shared a very graphic story about her mom nearly passing away. And not only her mom nearly passing away, but their relationship really going sideways because of it. Here's what Nick had to say at the time about that very sensitive storyline.
Forced. Maria's story felt a bit forced.
Did you think so?
So he laughs and says her storyline felt a bit forced.
I'd like to...
What was her story?
Nick says Maria's story felt a bit forced.
Come on.
That story being her mom.
Come on, Dave. Move it along.
Severe.
Why does Dave
This
always
is where
pause?
it's so
What is he
tough when
doing?
you share something very traumatic, right? Because then you get blokes online that can just comment on it. Maria's mom was in a severe
I
accident.
shared that. Okay.
Her story was I don't take these fights so seriously because I've faced death in the past personally. She's
she said she was 1 year old.
She was...
Yeah, she was one.
So Nick says, didn't she say she was 1 year old? And my reading of what he's saying is, how is this a big life issue for you? Which, if you watch the episode and have any morsel of empathy, you'd realize that it affected her mom, her relationship with her mom's relationship with her father. So it's a giant, how dare you question something so personal to somebody else?
And she got in a car accident with her mom, and she was pronounced dead.
Pronounced
at the
dead,
scene.
yeah.
And then
It seems as if the producers are trying to sell Nick on humanity. They're like, Nick, she was pronounced dead at the scene, and Nick's like, yeah, but she was 1.
Yeah, she had her whole life ahead of her. Who cares?
What are you going to do? It's not exactly the accident, Nick. It's the fallout from that.
All right, so again, it doesn't take more than a shred of humanity to understand that. Let's continue.
What even was that? But even when he did that,
What even was that?
I stayed silent. I was like, okay, maybe he was just, asking questions.
Yeah.
Maybe he was just curious.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? And I stayed silent. I didn't put my 2 cents, and I was like, it's okay, whatever. I would rather a guy from my past breeze right past me than talk shit about me the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of like, okay, you know what, Nick, go off, do your thing. I don't care. I mean, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, it kind of it shocked me to hear his response to what I kind of did on Call Her Daddy. I thought he would kind of laugh that off, but also appreciate that I was being very supportive and giving kind words. I didn't know the timeline of the wedding. Sorry for how that worked out. I didn't know when shit was going to air. I don't have your wedding on my calendar.
Don't have your wedding on my calendar.
Sorry, but I really don't. But I thought I was being as pleasant as I could.
Yeah, it's not like you didn't do anything wrong. Like, oh my God, you protected me on my wedding day.
Yeah, no, but literally. And
yeah, all Nick would have had to do is not open his phone.
like, I was just at the end of the day, like putting rumors to rest, because if one of us didn't unlike the other's Instagram photos, if one of us didn't have anything to hide, I mean, the one of us that has nothing to hide is sitting in this room with you. And
of course, referencing Nick unliking bikini photos and other photos of Maria's. Once everyone knew that they were liked. I mean, hey, I'm all about like your photos. Who cares? A like isn't an endorsement, but I mean, at the same time, as a married man, it's like, you see a bikini photo. Usually, you just like the ones where they're wearing a turtleneck. Maria's dressed up as a nun, wearing a full nun outfit. I can like that. Oh, Maria's got a tinsel thong on. We're just gonna pass. We're gonna do a pass on that one. Doesn't mean don't post the photos. Just means I will take my likes and dole them out in a very conservative nature for all wondering.
I'm sorry to say it, but I was thinking of quoting Kendrick Lamar right now. I told him that because I was just gonna say, listen, like a wise man once said, like, don't tell lies about me and I won't tell truths about you.
How do you respond to the criticism in general, whether it be on his podcast, on the internet? Like, how do you respond to criticism?
I've had the most amazing support since leaving the show and and whatever. But obviously there are the ones that, come at you a little bit, whether it's my looks, whether it's the way I dress, whether it's like how plain Jane I am. To some people, they're upset that I don't wear earrings. I was considering wearing earrings today.
No, I'm not wearing earrings.
I was considering, I was like, maybe I should. She was like, are you gonna wear a necklace or an ear? I'm like, nah. The criticism of like how I act and who I am, like, this is what I say. There are the people that get me. And when the people that get me, I respect, like you. There are so many podcasts. I don't know. Do you know Dave Neal?
Yeah, of course.
I love
He's amazing.
that man.
He's a king.
Anyways, the mom.
Whoa. Hold on. If I'm a king, what does that make Boy August here? Is Boy August a boy king? Oh my gosh. Can we just take a victory lap on that one? That one came out from left field. Hey, honey. I've been announced king. No one cares. Okay.
I respect, like you. There are so many podcasts. I don't know. Do you know Dave Neal?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God. Love
He's amazing.
that man.
He's a king.
Anyways, the Mom and Dad podcast.
No. Okay, we love Mom and Dad. Okay, we love Jess, everyone else. Can we just end it with Dave? At least we got top billing.
Oh, yeah. When I tell you they got me to a T of who I am as a person, and they recap the season and they recap me to the point where I'm like, okay, listen, if people like you guys get me, the people that don't and they want to criticize me, please do. Yeah. Because you know what? At the end of the day, I can sometimes when they write me.
By the way, you can watch my recaps from the start. From the start, I was like, oh, and I'll tell you when it was. Maria had her first conversation with Joey, and she said something like very irreverent banter they were kind of ribbing each other about like their classic movies. I don't remember what it was. Her classic movie, his classic movie was something like Remember the Titans or something like that. She roasted him, and I was like, this is it. This is somebody who gets it. She is made for TV. And from there, she only got better. And of course, we were heartbroken when she was not named Bachelorette, but her star has risen so fast. I think she can just go into the podcasting world. I say this, go into the podcasting world, get a camera to follow you around, do fun things, Conan O'Brien style, where he does fun segments, where he kind of travels all over and meets people. Just do that, be you, and honestly, you will have so much success.
Things are like they're mad about something. I learn from it. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll change that, or maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, a little constructive criticism.
Yeah. I respect it.
Just don't get lost in it.
Yeah. No. I've been called ugly. I've been called this, her teeth are this, that. I don't care. I'm like, okay, good. When you get to a point in life where you've accepted yourself for exactly who you are, knowing that you're not going to be the best looking, you're not going to be the prettiest, you're not going to be the coolest, and just accepting that, there's power in that.
There is.
And it's so funny. Did Maria grow up not thinking she was hot? She's a hot person. she's not everybody's cup of tea, because some people want that subservient, I do declare I'll make you cornbread every day, whatever you would like, some Southern belle or whatever. It's like, no, she's going to call it as it is. If you wear a stupid shirt, she's going to make fun of it, and that's going to be fine. And then they're going to have good, happy-go-lucky Canadian healthcare sex. That's what they're going to do.
Because when people are going to come at you, you're like, okay, it's okay. You are.
Because they're here and you're where you are. And it's, we all know what's the girl's name who does they're in the bleachers.
Taylor Swift?
Yes. Brene Brown. Just go listen to Brene Brown and you'll be healed. And
all right. So anyway, they go on. What else can I say? Now, Dave, you're only reporting on people because they love you. Or is it that I get Kaitlyn Bristowe, I get the Marias, I get them to a T what they're doing out there. I love it. I love that they're unapologetic. I don't ask them to be anything better or worse than who they are and who they show up to be. And that, my friends, is what will drive success. That's it. Take a little bit of a dose of Maria, of Kaitlyn. Be you. And it might be abrasive, but weed out the people that can't hang. Nick clearly can't hang. I've been Dave Neal, and this was August, and we'll be back with more content right after this. And by the way, if you want to get more of this pouch today, I'm going to be live all day long on Patreon, patreon.com/Dave Neal. We'll see you then.